Hello. Today I wanted to share a review of All About Reading Level 1. Me and my daughter went through, this is our third curriculum that we have gone through, reading curriculum. When she was about 5 years old, I started a curriculum that was very traditional and that had been given to us, and I really pushed reading onto her. And she really was not ready. And this curriculum had tons of worksheets, tons of work. We were doing like 45 minutes to an hour a day, and it was awful. And we ended up burning out, and it did not work. So we ended up having to take like long break from reading to kind of like recover from that. And then we tried a second curriculum that was supposed to be very gentle, and we were really excited to try this because of the last curriculum choice we had chosen. And so we got it, we were excited, we started doing it, and I soon realized that after a couple of months she just wasn't retaining anything, and she was really struggling with reading. She got letters mixed up, words mixed up. She just struggled to retain information, and so we realized that that was just not working. And so me and my husband were like, what do we do? And so I had remembered people talking about All About Reading and what success they had had with it. And so I thought that I would give it a try. And when I went to the website, I was just thinking like, this looks like exactly what I'm looking for. I hadn't wanted to spend the money up until that point. We didn't have very much of the time, and so I wasn't wanting to spend a whole lot. But this is our third try, and after many years, like years had gone on, my daughter was getting ready to almost be 7. We decided to just bite the bullet and get it. And we did, and I am so glad that we did. So my daughter is now getting ready to finish the All About Reading Level 1. We're almost done. There's probably a month left. I didn't want to do any kind of review or anything until I had gone through the whole entire thing so that I could wholeheartedly recommend it. But it has been wonderful, and we will be buying Level 2. Like I said, we're just about done with Level 1, and her reading has just improved so much. I cannot believe how much her reading has improved over the course of this level that we've been doing. So I just wanted to share a couple of things, kind of our review, kind of what the curriculum looks like for anybody who maybe was in the same place as me, where they're just kind of at their wits' end. They've tried many curriculums, but they haven't tried All About Reading yet, and kind of help walk you through that and hopefully help you out. Okay, so what I love about All About Reading, what I absolutely loved about it, is that it's perfect for children who are dyslexic and those who are struggling readers. So if your child falls into either one of those categories, this would really be a great option. Like I said, my daughter was struggling so much. We actually suspect that she probably has dyslexia after doing lots of research on it, and this has helped her immensely. This was written with that in mind, with struggling readers and dyslexia in mind. And whenever since I've used multiple curriculums, whenever you get this one, you feel like, okay, this was written by somebody who gets it, who gets what I'm going through. It is very multisensory. There's absolutely no writing in it, which I loved because my daughter was getting so bogged down with all of the worksheets. I think that her brain trying to process writing and also process reading at the same time was making her really struggle. And so when you took out the writing, she was able to totally focus on the reading part. And it just made it to where it wasn't so much of a burden. And the multisensory, every day she's using her hands, whether it's using the tiles or doing an activity or a game, she's getting to use all of her senses. And there's even a lot of times there's candy that's thrown in, and when you're learning words, and she loves that. So, but that's another thing with the tiles that are used, which you can see them actually behind me. I've got them up on my board. That has helped her so much because she was getting her letters mixed up. And so the letter tiles, because it differentiates the letters and the vowels, she was so much better able to sound it out. And so that really That was a huge part of helping her. It's also go at your own pace. It is broken into about 53 lessons, but we don't even really pay attention to the lessons, although they do have a sticker that you can give to each kid after each lesson, which my daughter enjoys that too, seeing her progress. But we don't pay attention to it so much, as in we don't try to do like one lesson a day. We set the timer for about 20 minutes every single day, and we just focus. And then wherever we're at, I just put a little arrow right next to it. We close up the book, and then we are done. And we come back the next day, open it up to where that mark was, and we just keep going. And that has been wonderful, because a lot of times if she's struggling with something, we can just take days to just slowly keep going through it. And we don't have to rush through. We just go slow, and we can also speed up. So I have loved the go at your own pace part of it. Everything is laid out for you. It's very open and go. And so I will say though that in order for it to run seamlessly open and go, you really need to put in the prep work when you first get the curriculum. So there'll be things that you need to cut out. You'll need to kind of punch out the little tiles we've got back there. And you'll need to kind of gather some materials. I like to have it all in one spot. I also cut out all the worksheets and cut them out and put them, organized them. And so that's another thing that I love about it. I did about 15 lessons at a time. So I just did the first 15 lessons, got it all organized, and every single day really is open and go. It couldn't go any better. I just come in here every morning, I get out the stuff, I lay it out, we just open the book, and we go. And we do it for 20 minutes, I close it up, and I don't have to prep the night before, I don't have to even think about it. But I think one of the keys is that you really do, when you get it, you're gonna have to do the prep if you want it to run really smoothly. So it really is open and go, but I will preface it that you have to do the work, but it was totally worth it. And so that was kind of, when I was trying to think of like, well, what would people kind of be leery about? I think that the couple of things that make people like, I don't know, is that you have to do lots of prep. There's some worksheets that can kind of be laborious, but we just, they do a great job of like putting games in there, and they've got this little, I'll show a picture of it. They have this little like thing that you can put on the page that only highlights like one word. And so that was really good for my daughter, because tons of words give her like anxiety. And so just being able to focus on that one word helped her. And then sometimes we don't do the whole entire like 4 pages of worksheets. Sometimes we'll like pick which ones we want to do. And so that really helps as well. And the price would be the third thing that I think that would make people nervous, because I know that I was nervous about that, but it really did. It was so worth the money. And I'm not just saying that. We have not had much either, and so I understand if anybody's in a position where like we just really don't have that much. But if you don't have that much and your child is struggling really bad, I would highly encourage you to try it. And it just worked so well for us, and it reduced so much stress in my life and in my daughter's life that it was so worth it. And so another thing that we like about it is the readers are wonderful. They're wholesome, they're interesting, and so if you're even just needing some readers to throw into your box or bin of readers, then I would highly suggest that. So each lesson is laid out. It kind of alternates. So like, let's say like lesson 1, you are learning a new word or a new letter sound, then you're practicing it through hands-on games. They've got the Ziggy games. I went ahead and bought that, and I'm really glad that I did, because my daughter really needed games. She needs hands-on playing games, and that really helped her. And so I'm really glad that I got the Ziggy games. And if you need any help, I'll just also say, if you need any help with doing the games or organizing or planning or whatever, go ahead and just send me a comment down below, or my Instagram, thisintentional.home. You can find me there. My website, thisintentionalhome.com. A comment down in the blog post for this. I can link all of that down at the bottom, but I would love to help you out with that. And so lesson one, like I said, then you're learning how to do all that through games, learning that new letter, learn the sound, you're using the tiles, and you're just kind of practicing using it. Well, then the next lesson you go to like using it in real life in a sense. You will do a warm-up sheet. You'll kind of review what you learned. You'll do a warm-up sheet that's going to be for the reader, which will have some of those words on it. And you'll play some games, warming up for the reader, and then you'll read the reader that lesson. And it kind of does that. So each lesson it flips back and forth between learning new stuff and then putting it into practice. So yeah, here is an example of a lesson. This is just parent stuff. Don't need to, you just kind of read over that, but you don't have to do anything of it. And here's the review. New teaching, like I said, you're learning new teachings. You are then doing some flashcards, some games. Then you do your practice reading sheets. Then the next lesson is you are learning how to do the reader. So warm-up sheet, do a game, and then you are reading the reader. And so it just kind of goes back and forth like that. And that was one thing that some of the other curriculums that I had used, they just didn't do as good of a job putting it into practice. And so it's like she's learning this new word and then we're like practicing it a lot. And my daughter really needed that. Of course, if you don't need that much review, you can just take out one of those worksheets or whatever that you need to do, make the curriculum how you want it. And your son or daughter might not need all of it my daughter needed, but I learned that my daughter really did need that review to make her feel confident when she got to the reader. So that's how the lessons are, that's how they're kind of set up. And so yeah, we just were able to go right on through, and we are now, like I said, just about done and have absolutely loved it. So if you have any more questions about it, I can do another video with anything else that you might have questions about. Like I said, go ahead and find me on social media or a comment below with another question that you have and I can answer it. I just want to help any other mama out there who, like I said, I think it took us like 2 years of a lot of struggling with reading, and it's still hard, reading still hard for her, but the progress that she has made just brings me so much joy, and I am so glad, and I cannot wait to keep on going on to level 2 here soon. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want more homeschool resources or any other videos, why don't you like and subscribe and comment below? That would really help out my growing channel. And yeah, have a good day.